I had a question about what my favorite energy drinks were that were sugarless but also did not have aspartame. And actually aspartame coming out of products is a big development that a lot of brands are doing apparently. So I'm making this video to show you some of my favorite energy drinks that don't have aspartame. But first we're going to set up the standard. Every one of these tests, I'm going to rinse out the bottle first and warm it up, because I like to have these beverages warm. With the winter coming, it's always nice to have a nice warm beverage, and these energy drinks are a great pick-me-up in the morning. I'm comparing not just as energy drinks, but as grape-flavored drinks. And so what I'm going to do is, after I rinse the bottle, put a little bit to start, and we're going to test Grape Crush. Crush is always very flavorful and very sweet. So it's going to be a tough standard to match up to for the sugar-free drink. See what it tastes like out of the packet. Yeah, I got a lot of fruit flavor out of the packet. The color's very thick. Water than I wanted to put in. A little bit of foaming action, goes away quickly. Look at that dark color. That first sip is aromatic. You can taste the flavor before the water even hits your mouth. Oh yeah, tastes just like the Crush in the can. So that's our standard for flavor in a sugar-free beverage. Now for one of what I consider one of the best tasting powdered energy drinks. This is the Walmart brand, Great Value. This is their grape flavored energy drink. So let's rinse out the bottle. There's a little bit of color residue in there. Fill level. Again, the coloring, you can see a little bit of it in the foam on the top. And the flavor is effervescing from the bottle. Although not so much. Give it a little bit of a stirring there, but you see it frosts up pretty big time. Let it settle, we'll give it another stir, and then we'll see what it tastes like. That's a good flavor. It's like it sort of reminds me of Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid grape flavor, or like a grape jelly. Not over sweet, very fruity. And it's got B vitamins and lots of other energy ingredients in it other than caffeine. So this is one of my favorite energy drinks in the market. It's got a pretty good flavor, but you can still taste the caffeine. So while I like the flavor and I like the energy, I've been trying to find an aspartame-free alternative to it. So this is my standard for an energy drink with grape flavor. Great Value brand from Walmart. Let's see what it tastes like straight out of the packet. More sweet than fruity coming out of the packet. A very satisfying beverage. I just wish it didn't have aspartame. That was one of my favorite brands of energy drinks, but of course, because aspartame is the first ingredient listed, I got aspartame symptoms. And what I mean by that is the sort of a phlegminess, stickiness in the back of my throat, difficulty in swallowing, sort of a pasty, oily buildup that happens. It's kind of unpleasant. While it doesn't detract from the energy aspect, it does detract from the experience of drinking it. So now I'm going to try one that's available in a lot of grocery stores. This one was found at Walmart. This is Crystal Light. This is basically their Crystal Light product with caffeine added to it. I think I'm going to like this one because citric acid is listed first, and then maltodextrin, and then aspartame. So if it has the aspartame effect, it shouldn't be as much as the first one I tried. So let's rinse out the bottle. Like out of the packet. Very sweet. Tastes almost like regular refined sugar. A little bit of the fruity taste too, but that sweet is really strong. That sweetness really is strong. Let's see what it tastes like mixed. See, this one froths up a little bit too, and I'm seeing the same thing with the color, where the dye is a little blue in the suds, but is purple in the fluid, and it mixes in, and it'll settle on a color here in a minute here. Like the first drink, it's a see-through kind of coloring. It's not so thick as you get with some of these others. It's a good satisfying color purple if the color means anything to you, which it doesn't really mean much to me. Let's see what it tastes like. That's very close actually to the taste of actual fresh fruit. It's almost like taking a bite out of a grape. So very satisfying grape flavor. Sweeter than the other drink was. But because it doesn't have any extra energy ingredients to it, all you're really going to get out of this is that cup of coffee effect. But hey, if you can get that cup of coffee effect with some nice flavor along with it, that's a pretty good deal. This is going to be the first drink that fits my actual priority, although the flavor is not necessarily grape. It's some kind of weird berry, Acai Berry flavor, which is the closest thing they had to grape. But this is the first aspartame-free product that I have to show you. It's actually sweetened with sucralose and asulfame pulse, and has natural flavors. It also has a lot of the B vitamins, ginseng, and other energy components, not just caffeine. So let's test it out by rinsing the bottle first. A little bit of color left in from the last one. Now, this says it has 18 servings. Best I can figure, a serving is actually one full squeeze from the container, but it makes me wonder whether that amount changes depending on how high the level is in the bottle. Let's just try one squirt and see what we get here. So the bottle's not under stress at all. I'm going to squeeze it as far as I can squeeze it to get one squeeze. So that's a pretty good squeeze there. I don't know if I can do that through the whole bottle. I like the way it doesn't drip. Swoosh it a little bit and spray the bottle the rest of the way. Doesn't really froth up. It looks like it mixes really fast. I don't see any changes in continuity in the color. Looks like everything's the same shade of purple. And again, it's another sort of subtle color. It's not really let it finish frothing up, and you can see that you can really see straight through this one as well. The color is a little off, but it could be right depending on what the grape flavor is like, so let's test that out. Well, I'm not sure what I think of this one. I can taste the fruitiness of it. It's sweet, but not really sweet. It's got a little bit of the chemical taste in it from the ingredients. It's not subtle, but it's not necessarily a strong flavor either. It's somewhere in the middle. If I had to compare it, it's kind of like the jelly in a jelly packets in a restaurant. That kind of grape flavor. But it's kind of nondescript. It's really, I'm almost tempted to put another squeeze in it, but I think this is the right amount for one serving. I don't want to change the rules in the middle of the game. But this should give me a good lift with all these extra ingredients in it. And it has no aspartame, so I don't have to worry about aspartame symptoms, which would be nice. I'm just not sure whether this flavor holds up compared to the other flavors though. It may just take a little getting used to, but it's kind of like the Kool-Aid flavor of grape. Somewhere between that and jelly. Just not as strong a flavor as I expected. Okay, here's the next one for our aspartame-free energy drinks. This is the energy drink I found at Dollar General. It's actually a lemonade, so they don't really have a grape, but it is aspartame-free and it is energy, so I figured I'd include it because it's appropriate to what we're doing right now. So rinse out the bottle. This one actually has picked up a little bit of purple color. A very slight light purple color in washing out. Put a little more water on. Coming out of the packet. It tastes like chemicals. Distinct, chalky, chemical kind of taste to it. And a little bit of fruity taste. And the sweetness, I guess, is there, but it's an aftertaste. Well, I hope it doesn't taste like that mixed. Boy, I hope it doesn't taste like that when it's mixed. Well, the color is kind of grapey. It frosts up a little bit. So this is sweetened with stevia and powered with caffeine. And the colors seem to be the same in the foam as they are in the drink, but they just need to stop frothing and just kind of swirl that in there. That's pretty well mixed now. So let's see what it tastes like. Well, it almost tastes like medicine. But what I'm really detecting is the lemon taste. Okay, let me take another sip. It's coming in a little clearer now. It's sort of an aftertaste more than a foretaste. No, it's still a little bit of a chalkiness in the back of my mouth, but it does taste like lemonade with some strawberry or some fruit in it. It's more like a tea, actually. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of green tea with lemon. I don't know, something definitely weird is going on with this one. This is not panning out like the other ones did at all. So let me just drink this down and report back, because this is Because maybe this is something that needs to grow on you. Maybe I'm just shocked by the different taste of the stevia. Maybe just lemon in here. It almost tastes like lemon peel. Very zesty, I can say that for it, but I'm not sure I like this as a drink now. If it was grape flavor, it still had that medicine-y kind of aftertaste to it, I'd still have a problem with it, so I'm not quite sure what to tell you about this one quite yet. Well, that true lemon energy drink just did not satisfy me at all. The flavor was just consistently medicine-y. I think what happened is there was just not enough flavor and enough sweetening to cover the caffeine. It tastes very much like medicine. Just rinse that taste out of the bottle. This is why I rinse it, by the way. Flavor like that can really get in there and stay. Give it a little extra rinse before we move on to the next one. This is another one that's in the natural products aisle in Dollar General. It's Good and Smart brand. Acai Blueberry. They don't really have a grape, but this is pretty close, I guess. So we'll see how this works for an aspartame-free energy drink. Got to be a step up from that last one. Tangy sweet and some good flavor to it. Blueberry is not a bad substitute for grape. They're kind of similar in a way. The dye looks like it's going to be thick. Froths up pretty good. A little bit of blue color separating from the purple color in the foam. That seems to be a common occurrence with this kind of stuff. I wonder if that has anything to do with maltodextrin. Alright, give it a little more swirl. That's very dark. You can almost not see through it. In fact, it is, it's opaque. See what it tastes like. That's good, it's like a blueberry jelly. That's a winner. Let's give it another taste just to make sure I'm tasting what I think I'm tasting. It's not terribly sweet, but it is fruity. Fruity and sweet. Not really overdone at all. Could maybe use a little more sweetness, but for an energy drink, I think this is really good. This is sweetened with citric acid, maltodextrin, and caffeine powered. Looks like it's got not much more than that, some B vitamins. Rinse that out of the bottle. And left a little bit of purple color behind too. So now we're going to have a standard for flavor. I'm setting the standard using Welch's. And Welch's is actually where I got the idea that this needed to be celebrated with a video, because they put it in big bold letters. It was smaller letters on earlier packaging, and now it's big bold letters saying no aspartame. So apparently there's a trend there that people know they don't want this stuff in their diet anymore. And so combine that with Welch's superior grape taste, you should have a pretty good combination here. Now, mind you, this is not an energy drink. putting this in to compare flavor. Oh, it's very fruity and naturally sweet tasting. Right out of the packet. Let's mix it up and see what it tastes like. Looks a little on the reddish side, not so much purple, maybe it's more like a red grape maybe in your mind. It's not frothing, or it's, well, it does froth a little bit. Nothing compared to what the other ones are doing, and you can see the foam on the top. You can see the foam on the top is the same color, so the colorant is thick, but it spreads evenly. I guess that's the color it wants to be right there. Let's taste this. Oh, that's good. It's a very realistic flavor. Not so much sweet like a jelly, but more like just actually eating actual grapes. A fresh grape flavor. Very satisfying. Throw some caffeine in with this and you might have a really good product. But I'm not surprised. I expected Welch's to really set the standard here for this. And they did not disappoint. So with that, we've had a pretty complete test here. So that concludes the comparison. Here again are our drinks. This is the only one that had aspartame in it. It was also similar to the version of the grape energy drink that they sell at the Meyer store, so I just used this one to represent both. True Lemon, which is some kind of weird lemon tea with flavor. Didn't work out so well. The Welch's is the flavor standard and no aspartame. The Crystal Light with no aspartame. And the Acai, which are both good for flavor, but it's not the grape flavor, it's just the Acai flavor. And Grape Crystal Light was a satisfying energy drink, but striking the balance between the energy components and the sweetener is a difficult thing. I don't think Mio did that very well with a single serving. So for maintaining the best flavor with energy, right now it's looking like the Crystal Light product. I did like the Crystal Light Grape a lot. And the Acai was a good flavor, it just wasn't grape, or else I would have ranked a little higher. But look at the chart, it'll show you what the value is at the end, how much it costs per serving, as well as what the sweetener is, what the energy component is, and where you can find it. I really like this new trend that's going on right now with sugarless drinks and sugarless candies, where there's phasing out aspartame in favor of other sweeteners. So that concludes our test. Hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button and share. Let people know what I'm doing here, guiding people to a sugar-free lifestyle. Also, if you need help with ab exercises, go to lowerabexercises.org, which will give you an automated email course to teach you how to do ab exercises without a gym, without a lot of hassle, without any equipment.